going down too, but for some reason, the last 2 months, I, we went from $70 to 140 something, and then now it's 185. So
Well, mine all summer long was right around between $65 and $75 a month. The one for
yes,
last month is $54.
yeah, that's hello everybody.
What's up, everybody?
Hope
Hello.
everybody had a great week this week. Um, we're kind of just sitting around talking about how I guess this green energy junk is making. They got to pay for them. I guess pay for them. Their electric, their windmills, and their daggum solar panels some way or another because they. I mean, it's our bill has never been over $150 a period. I mean, and so, even when I had a house in South Carolina, it was twice the size of this house. It wasn't nowhere. It wasn't near this kind of price. Hey, Renegade,
Well,
how are you doing tonight?
they have to pay to transport that electric.
Yeah. Well, that was the sad part about it. I lived 3 miles from a nuclear power plant in South Carolina, and we didn't even get our power from there. We got it from North Carolina. They
Yeah.
shipped ours to North Carolina, and we got theirs back from North Carolina. So,
Well, I'm talking like the fuel costs and stuff to ship that electric.
yeah, that's what I was. That's what we was looking at a bill, and that's what they've said. The fuel costs and everything else. I guess it's the I well, I said, I mean, West Virginia still got is got they got enough coal in West Virginia to last 300 years. I mean, so
They just won't let them get it out of the ground.
yeah, they just won't let them take it out of the ground. That's the problem. I mean, it's
Oh, sorry to hear that, Renegade. So I was sick there over Christmas and between Christmas and New Year's and a little bit after New Year's there, but I'm starting to feel better and get more energy back and stuff.
that's been kind of us too, Renegade. We got sick on my hey Wayne. We got sick on my. Delisa found out on my birthday that she had it, and we ended up having to my birthday, of course. So then she had to go through her birthday with it, um, and we don't have so much of the cougher and stuff anymore. But my energy level ain't come back.
I never really had a cough with mine. Mine was just I felt drained. I felt down. Just beat and slowly but surely over the last couple of weeks here, I'm slowly getting it back and everything. And actually had a pretty productive week at work and productive work out in the shop. So
What is your deal with Betty there? I mean,
Black Betty,
yeah.
that's our new Malibu at work.
Oh, I thought that is that your new shop car or what?
Yeah, it's one of our new leased over the road cars that people can sign out to use. That's a
Wow.
2023 Chevy Malibu turbocharged. She likes to roll,
Yeah,
and she
just want some of them daggum uh them people that drive those cars, just what they need something to run fast now. I mean,
hey we hold the insurance on it, but
yeah.
you are responsible for your tickets and everything. And if you get a speeding ticket in a company vehicle, you lose your driving privileges.
Um,
There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. it's almost better to get a DUI.
I'm sorry to hear that, Renegade. Is there anything we can do for you? Or anything we can help with, or anything? Let us know. Yeah,
Wayne, the reason you're having that heart flutter is that wife of yours.
I ain't going there.
She,
But
she,
no,
she
no,
got to.
I have fought that all year myself, there, Wayne. But right after I, hey Tommy, right after I got right after I had to go to the doctor a week or so ago, and all the blood pressure problems I was having all year last year, and she it couldn't have been. She took my daggum blood pressure. She had to take it 3 times because we couldn't believe the daggum numbers. I mean, it was it was. I mean, I had to go. They'd usually give me an EKG every daggum time I went to go to my heart doctor and all that stuff because it had a kind of a flutter in it. And but this time I went to my regular doctor, and she took the blood pressure 3 times because she said I ain't never seen your blood pressure this low. But it was 134 over 78.
Oh, that's not too terribly bad. It's the bottom number that kills you.
But I mean, she was she was she was she was almost ready to fingerprint me to see that it was me that was in doing the visit. And one day we're going to teach Delisa how to put a shirt on correctly. She can put everything on inside out. So
220 over 105. Good
we
God.
just
When I went to key in Monday, mine was 127 over 57.
A little low on the low
I
number.
couldn't believe. I said, man, I wasn't expecting that. I was
Yeah.
all excited.
Johnny Best in the house.
hey Mark,
Hey guys, how y'all
same
doing?
here. Which one everyone is?
And the
Well,
Jeep's on the road again.
and
Awesome.
Hey,
yeah,
Mark.
yeah. It's we decided to go to Texas Roadhouse one night. We actually dressed up for a change, go to Texas Roadhouse, and here comes Delisa out the bathroom. I got her dress, her skirt tucked in her panties, and her daggone toilet paper dragging along behind her. I mean, you can tell we're hillbillies or something other because we can't even dress up nice. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, she had to walk all the way across the restaurant though. Yeah,
That's why I don't bother getting dressed up.
yeah.
I, I
Well,
usually I usually find a t-shirt that don't have my name on it, and one that don't have holes in it.
I'm lucky if I find one that ain't got holes in it most of the time. But
That's
but
why you don't wear a dress.
but
There you go.
Renegade, that's what was wrong with me all last year. I mean, all last year mine was over 200. I even seen 240 and over 120. I mean, but the doctors didn't. It was during that daggum hospitals were still acting weird, so I couldn't get any test run or anything else. So
Now, a comment like that makes you kind of wonder.
Yeah.
Twisted V Twin. Look at that comment. That's why I don't wear a dress. Now, we don't know if that's Mark or Sandy.
That's the.
I can understand that that's from Sandy, but
Yes.
and then Mark too. You know, yeah, I wouldn't if I was Mark. I wouldn't wear a dress either.
I wouldn't either.
No, he ain't got the butt for it. No, I'm picking.
Not with them chicken legs. Can you imagine what
No.
them chicken legs would look like? I mean,
I got chicken legs.
they'd
My
be-
legs
they'd-
are skinnier than Mark.
They'd probably be so white that they blind you when you went past them.
Oh boy. Oh Lordy.
Well, what was it? What was it? The Bellamy boys, or which one was it that said, where's the dress back years ago?
Where's the dress? Mo Bandy and Joe
Yeah, Joe
Stampley.
Bandy and
Joe Stampley. Louisiana boy right there. Joe
Yeah.
Stampley.
Yeah, I mean,
Where's the dress?
If he'd make $1 million dressing up like that, I might would go for that. But
Yeah. I think one of them dressed like a girl. Or both of them, I think, in the video.
yeah.
Hey, Delisa, how you doing?
Well,
I will embarrass anyone who is still with us.
yeah, she walked across. That ain't the only time though. Every time we go out, she can definitely put the shirt on back, out, inside out every time. I didn't even. I said, "Are you ordering them shirts with the ridge on the outside or what?" With the seams. Hey, East Coast Ken, how are you not? How are you not? Yeah, she even had a daggone pair. She wanted to keep. She wanted to keep the outside her eyes one day, so she had a pair of pants, her short pants that had holes all down right down the seam of the breeches, and my sister come in and said, you ain't got no better clothes than that, and she told her butt all. She said, I'm out here working around the house. She said, I ain't got time. I ain't got time to get dressed up and be all trying to be a try. And I mean, she ends up somehow or another getting bleach or some kind of paint or some kind of stain on every new thing she buys. So I just told her I'm gonna buy her a bunch of tie-dye T-shirts. Is what I'm gonna do.
There you go. That's why I don't have bleach in the house, because I can't be trusted with it.
Well, bad deal there, Ken. Yeah, it's. That was kind of her way of. That's. I mean, she said. She said she wore. She was working around the house. You don't wear your damn good clothes to work out around the house.
I go to work in the morning. I do my job at work. I come home. I work in my shop. I ain't changing clothes to work out in my shop. If I need to run to the grocery store, if I need to run uptown and get something to eat, or whatever, I ain't changing clothes.
That was the way she was. She always had, she had some. That's heck, half the time around here, if I'm working on something, I ain't gonna do it. I know I'm fixing to go out and shop and get dirt or get filthy. I don't I put on the pants I had on yesterday because I mean, I ain't gonna damn used to get 2 pairs of pants dirty. I mean,
Well, well, I was uptown one of the restaurants on a weekend. Didn't work that day. I still had one of my work shirts on because I was out in my garage working. And it
yeah,
was the summertime, and one of the housekeepers seen me. And of course, she's in her daily clothes, not work clothes. And she's like, "Did you work today?" I'm like, "No." She's, "Why are you wearing your work stuff?" I'm like, "Because it's free." I what makes a difference if I got to wash stuff I wear to work or stuff that I have that don't have work name and stuff on it. I'm wearing the shit.
hey, about you. Yeah, that's ain't there ain't no way use no reason to put on your best clothes. Ain't nobody else gonna be around but you anyway. I mean, or if they come around me around the house, I'm not running an open garage for people to come in and out. So I ain't got to sit there and keep my shirt clean all day to work it. So I mean, ain't nobody gonna come. I mean, maybe one person might stop by by if I got the shop doors open out there, and he works on cars himself, so he's wearing basically the same thing I am. So I
Well, and
mean,
every year when they order us new T-shirts every year the ladies that's in charge of it are like, "Are you sure you don't want like red or this color or this color?" I'm like, "Nope. I want black and I want dark blue. Well, how
yeah,
about purple or how about?" I'm like, "Nope." I said, because the first day I wear it, it's gonna have a big grease stain or oil stain or something on it, and I won't be able to wear it anyways. So just give me the black ones and the blue ones.
that was back when that's the way it was back when I worked in a mill. I just tell them give me the doggone give me the give me the darker color ones because I ain't even used to me getting nothing white or nothing any lighter because
Mm-hmm.
I said the daggum job y'all got me doing I have it black anyway because I mean I was sitting there running a welder all day long. I mean the I worked in a water heater factory. They got them automatic welders. I had to
Mm-hmm.
roll them in and make sure it stayed on line when it went around. So I mean, it's I done that worked in that doggone mill for 6 years before I went on the road. So I mean, if I was going to a customer when I was driving a truck, when I went going to a customer or something or other, I had to try to have decent clothes on. But if I went to, but if I wasn't going to be doing anything but basically driving that day, I went and I put on my short legged breeches on and old raggedy t-shirt and all that, even driving the truck. So
Yep. Yeah, Ken. Whenever I worked in a truck garage and I had uniforms that I had to wear, I would wear them suckers all the time. Uh, you know, just
yeah,
because I didn't want to get my shit dirty. You know, I didn't have to wash those. I threw them in a big hamper and they come back nice and clean and hung up and pressed.
at one time I had so many doggone clothes hangers, metal clothes hangers, that I couldn't come up with enough uses for. So
Oh, I've got a closet full of clothes. Half of them don't fit me anymore, but I've got nice shirts. I've got, heck, when me and my ex-wife were still married, I've got a really, really nice fitting charcoal gray pinstripe suit with like 3 or 4 dress shirts and like ties to match and the whole 9 yards because her family had money And anytime we went down and visited on them, we'd go out to eat or whatever. I had to wear a shirt and tie and nice jacket and everything else. And yeah. So, but one time they did buy me or order me in a purple pullover. I wore it one time, and when I walked in, and the lady that orders the stuff seen me, I started singing, "I love you, you love me." She kind of looks at me, and her eyes got big. She goes, "Take it off. I'll get you a black one."
Just for that, I'm going to wheels on the bus.
Yeah. Bocce says she wears black because it matches her soul. Okay, yeah. Bocce Cash, how are you? Hope everything's going well over there.
Well, I tried wearing camouflage one time. Nobody could find me.
Well, that's why you work in that garage, wear dark clothes, Ed, so they can't find you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the last time I did laundry, I think I did 25 or 26 T-shirts, all work shirts, and they've actually cut down how many they give us. They used to give us 5 shirts in the spring for the summer, and then 5 shirts in the fall for during the school year. And they did that for like 10 years. And I had all kinds of T-shirts and stuff.
Hey, Mater. Yeah, East Coast again. I come out of high school. I was working frame machine in a body shop. I mean that was my main job, was lining frames up and all that stuff, and crashed cars. But I did a little bit of everything. Hey, Mater. Yeah, that doggone Bondo dust. It gets everywhere all over your clothes, the interior of your car, everything about it.
While you sanding, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff.
Got to roll them windows up.
Yeah. Well, and if you get the Bondo on your clothes, it won't come out of there either.
Well, usually if you get Bondo on your clothes, you make it big enough so when it dries up, you can peel it off. Take your pocket knife and peel it off.
So I got my cooking video done. As y'all could see me, I had the camera showing everybody in the panel. Give you a shout out in the video. So that'll be up tonight sometime.
All right, I appreciate it.
But it'll be on What's Cooking with Cajun, not Cajun Coin Hunt.
Okay. I'm drop the link in the chat there, Cajun. So
it's going to be a while.
I don't know what I don't even know whether I'm subscribed to that channel or not. I don't know whether I have or not. I don't remember the cooking channel, your cooking channel.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether I'm subscribed to it or not either. So,
okay, I'll drop it in there in a little bit.
All
right. I got to go to my other Gmail, and then I got to minimize this window, open up a brand new window, and then go from there. So I'll do that here in a little bit. Put the link up to the channel, but it's going to take me a little while to. Video's all said and done. It's uploading to the gallery inside the notepad right now. And then when I upload it, probably take, 10 minutes or something. It's probably a 12-minute video.
I'm eating monkey bread. See if it comes up here. Yeah, there it is. Got the lobster, right? It's got the lobster Cajun.
What?
That cooking with Cajun.
Oh yeah, playing accordion or the
Yeah.
fiddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Ooh.
The my avatar was cooking with Cajun.
Oh,
Yeah.
See the crawfish in there in the
Oh,
pot playing the accordion or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Hey, Thams.
Oh, thank you, Ed.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you faster than me.
I was just checking to make sure that I was subbed to it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
there it is again. But I had jumped over there to see what it was or not too.
More the merrier. Now y'all have monkey bread up there, Ed? Y'all got monkey bread? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find it in the stores down here, so we just, everybody. I never did see monkey bread in the store. We always make it, at home.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is up north if they offer it in the bakeries or what.
try
I
the
mean,
frozen. They have it in the frozen section.
monkey bread.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can find it in some stores in their bakery department, but yeah, most of the time it's got to be made at home.
Okay. Like in your big chain supermarkets, like Kroger's or something like that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think Walmart has every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, Walmart.
I used to work with a guy. He's retired now, and his wife used to bake everything, and she would always bake us up stuff and monkey bread and Amish bread and cookies and all kinds of stuff.
My cousin used to make pillow. She said pillow bread. Pillow bread.
Mm-hmm.
What it is I wanted to see how she made it one time. I wanted the recipe, but the bread when she bakes it or she fries it, I forget,
Puffs up.
and it poofs out. It makes a hollow bread. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it, but she does it, and then she injects, like the strawberry or whatever, with a syringe inside of it. It's kind of like a filled donut at a donut shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, but it's a sweet bread too, like
It's
donut.
sweet bread.
She calls it pillow bread because it's made. It comes out like a pillow, fluffed up, hollow inside. It's oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, Thanos World, how you doing?
And all that. I love it. I love it to death.
It don't like you.
I had to back off all the sweet stuff. So
Right. I'm doing okay. Tams was live earlier. He was out in the woods, out in the wide open, picking the guitar, making up some songs, writing songs.
How hard is it to put I reckon I got an Explorer out here, Ed, 2003. I think it's the door actuator is why I can't get no heat in it. How hard is it to put? How you got to pull the whole daggum console slam out of that thing to get that thing put it on in, or what's the easiest way to do it?
Yeah, probably. Well, no. You wouldn't have to pull the whole console out, I don't think. You should be able to pull a panel off and get to it.
It just looks like it's a pain in the butt, but I can't twist myself to get under the dash of it like I should. I mean, 20-year-old me would have been would have thought that was just a regular day at work, but now I'm looking at 57-year-old Daryl, and he's out here regretting how to get that on. I mean, it it knocked and knocked. And finally, it quit. So now I can't switch anything over to anything. I can't get no heat in it. So I'm hoping I think that's probably the problem on it. But
Yeah, if it's the blend door actuator
yeah,
on a Ford, it's hard saying where they put them. Some of the Chevys, the smaller SUVs, it's actually up on top of the heater box, and there's really no good way to get to it without tearing the dash way
how
apart.
well.
Yeah.
What about the glove box? Taking the glove box out. Can't get access through there?
Well,
The blend door actuator on that exploder there is
Wait, okay, what is it?
03 Ford Explorer.
No, what's wrong with it?
I can't get no heat, and that blend door actuator is I think
Oh.
stripped out because it's got them old plastic gears in it.
Oh, okay. I thought y'all
And
were talking about the fan.
no, but
Okay.
hey Missy, but the thing won't put out no heat, so I reckon I got to get it fixed in the next day or two, and it just looks like it's gonna be a pain because it's on the driver's side, and the way they built them things, it looks like half of it's built in together. So I mean, instead of having a cutout spot in right there, on the side of the console to get where it'd be a straight shot in, you got to just about pull the whole console out to get to the doggone thing. So.
Well, before you start tearing into that, Daryl, make sure that your antifreeze level is up, and make sure take the cap off, start it up, get it good and warm, and make sure your level is up. You may have an air pocket because if it worked before and then just all of a sudden quit working, it's probably not the blend door. You probably have an air pocket in there. The level has gone down just enough, and you got an air pocket trapped in there. You may actually have to get the front end of the vehicle up in the air a little bit to get that air pocket to come up to the radiator.
Oh, you mean jack up the front end?
Yeah, or uphill. Just get it facing uphill
Right.
to get the heater core lower than the where you put the antifreeze.
Oh, he's got a couple of them ramps over there on the mountainside he's on.
I got some built-in ramps over here.
But just take the cap off before you start warming it up. Don't warm it up and then try to take the cap off like my buddy did.
No,
oh boy, yeah, that gets hot.
I've been around cars long enough to know not to do that.
Yeah, I figured so, but it's better to say it, and
Yeah, I mean I know the heater hoses and all that gets hot on it. Even one side I can feel the heater hoses, and you can feel the water's flowing through the heater core,
okay.
but it ain't. But it's that blend door stuff. It knocks all. It was knocking all the time.
If it was making noise, then it's probably
it's just knocked one of them plastic teeth off of it, teeth off the gears on the inside of it. So.
How did Mark do what? He was the one that pulled the cap off. It was another guy. I don't know. Ooh, that looks delicious.
Good. There went my doggone diabetes level up about.
That's the monkey bread.
200 points.
Yeah. What's your EpiPen? I mean your pen.
I got them right here.
Insulpen. She
made her own
icing. She made her own icing. She took some butter, real butter, sliced it up, pot of sugar, and cream cheese. And then she, she's got a recipe in her head for that. I can't tell you exactly how much of each, but anyway, she did, and she got the cake mixer. And was doing it was a little thin, so she added some more cream cheese. And She got it right where she wanted it. She drills a lid on top of that while the monkey bread was still hot. Oh boy, we're gonna take the rest of that icing, put it in a jar, like a small mason jar with the lid and the ring, and put that in an ice box, and we can put that on uh, toast in the morning or whatever, or biscuits.
I bet it could dinner already.
Yeah.
Oh, she already did it.
Wayne, that's what I said. I've already felt both of the hoses going in and out of the heater core and from the outside, and I mean I'm 99% sure that it's not the heater core plugged up on it.
Yeah, well, two things I got coming up next week at work that I just discovered at the end of the day today. I got to put 2 wheel hubs on an 06 Chevy 3/4 ton pickup truck, 4-wheel drive. And I got to rewire one of our snow plow from the plow out. There's a plug, big square plug.
Yeah.
From that point out to the plow, I've got to rewire it because there's something in there that is not kosher. You wiggle the wires just right and the plow quits working. So.
Oh Lord. Well, and that's not that's just the beginning of the week. Then the rest of the weeks where everybody stomped the brakes too much and wore out the brake pads and.
Well, they're calling for 2 to 4 inches snow Sunday night into Monday morning. So, and it's the same truck.
Yeah.
I did an oil change on it today and was checking it over, and found the wheel hubs were a little shaky. And I told the boss, I said, I'm not tearing it apart today because I won't be able to get the parts until like 3:00 this afternoon. I said, they're calling for snow. I said, it'll make it through a snow call. They just need not to beat on it. And the first of the week, probably Monday afternoon or Tuesday, I'll start doing the wheel hubs on it. Well, I got done with the oil change and went over and hooked the plow up because they wanted the plows on today, so they don't have to do it Monday morning. And I hooked it all up, backed the truck up, worked the plow, turned it around, backed it into its parking spot. Plow wouldn't do anything. Wouldn't go down, wouldn't go up, wouldn't angle. Got out, started messing with the wires, and all of a sudden it started working again. So I took some zip ties and got it all zip tied to where it stays working, and told the boss on that one too. I said, after I get the wheel hubs done, I said, I guess I'll be rewiring that plow. So, yay me. Well, there's only about 14 or 18 wires that go out to that plow. So
either that, or they have, or some of them that's got keys to the cars will be hit a doggone curb and knocked it out of the line, or broke something in there underneath it.
Well, and I've already got a whole. This is the time of year that I do a lot of oil changes and stuff.
Yeah,
we do them twice a year, and this is about time that I do oil changes and stuff on them. And I've got a whole ton of them lined up for next week to do oil changes on, plus fix anything that breaks down. And yeehaw, it's fun.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm gonna do like you said, telling everybody else. Don't do it. You know it's gonna be hot. I hope you didn't get hurt too bad. I mean, I have seen them get 3rd and 4th degree burns where they had big old blisters and actually had to have skin grafted for rotating them radiators.
Yeah, I guarantee a week in the burn unit, like Tommy said, you in pain the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a friend of mine I was helping back when I was working in the mill. I come home one day, I'd go to work, have him work on cars and stuff. He was in like his 60, 65, 67 or something. And I come in the shop wide open, and he's nowhere to be found. And I start looking around. He had a little Mazda RX-7 in there jacked up, and and he I could I looked around like I smelled smoke. So smoke smelled like something that was on fire. But he got under it. What had happened was the car had a gas leak, and he got he got under there with one of them old, the old service type with the bulb that gets hot, the electric bulbs, and he got under there with that looking for the leak. Hey, Bo, and he went to get his uh he had got under there with one of them doggone, and a drop fell right on the light bulb and caught the whole dag caught underneath the car on fire, and his arm, his coveralls, the whole arm was burnt out of him and all this. So I mean, I walked out. He'd put the fire out before he went to the hospital, and and his coveralls laying out there beside the water spigot. So that's how I figured out. Thought something. I figured out. I looked at the car and I seen where from burn. Where it burned underneath and all out. And so I mean, I I couldn't. That was back before cellular phone, so I couldn't call to see what had happened or anything else. That was back probably eighties and or mid eighties or somewhere.
Back when I was still in the fire department, we got a call for a house fire, and I was on the initial strike crew or team going in first in, and I didn't have my gloves, didn't have my jacket pulled down over my gloves. There was just a thin area that was exposed skin on both arms, and we hit knockdown on it, and that steam flowed back. Didn't even think about it. Everything was done. We got the knockdown on, pulled back out. Another crew went in. I'm taking my gloves and stuff off, and I'm like, man, I had perfect red rings, first degree steam burns all the way around both wrists.
But he didn't have to stay in the burn unit, but he come back. He was wrapped up from his wrist all the way up his arm, and he never could work. He couldn't go out in the sun without long sleeve shirts on from then on because it would just blister right back up. I mean, and he couldn't get out there to work and do nothing, and that light to have killed him. I mean, and he because he couldn't get out and go. Uh, all he was when I went in there and talked to him, in the evenings whenever I got how work or school from work, I I'd went out there and I'd already dropped the fuel to the gas tank down, put new fuel lines on it, then sanded the spots where the paint got hot on it and bubbled up. I done sanded all that down. I done sprayed all that. He said, he said, I hate to ask you, but would you look at that? I mean, this was 2 weeks later. He asked me, would I look at that Mazda out there and see what needs to be what what needs to be done to it and all that stuff. I said that Mazda's already painted. I said, don't worry about it. He said, painted. I said, yeah, it got part of the little spot on the quarter panel where it bubbled up. I said, I got the fuel lines on it. As a matter of fact, I've already backed it out the shop and it's sitting out there in the line. I mean, he was in all kind of pain. I mean, he was in some serious pain. He couldn't move his arm, couldn't do anything.
Oh, and I did find back brakes and rotors for my pickup truck a hell of a lot cheaper than what I was finding them for. I found them for $122 for everything, both all 4 back brake pads and rotors.
Your truck's old enough to have is new enough to have rotors on it?
Yep. That year, well, actually, 2000 or 1999, they had the option of either drums or rotors.
I was going to say, I mean, that 91 I got out here still got the drums on it. So, but I've never changed any of them. So I got this while I'm tearing it apart, paint it and I'll redo it and all. I'm gonna had to put new rotors and new everything on it. So rotors and drums on the back of it. I might well put a brake. Probably go across, do brake lines and all that stuff too. So
Yeah. The one guy at Napa that checked prices for me, he started doing some checking, and they actually have a kit. It's a cheap kit, but it's a shit box, so I don't care. It's the back brakes, it's not the front brakes. And he found a kit that Napa provides. The only thing I have to do is get underneath there and look and see if it's a two piston caliper or a one piston caliper. Same price. I just need to know for the brake pads.
Yeah, well then they're slotted and drilled calipers. Are they any better than the standard as far as helping the brake better and all that?
Yes, they are. There is a difference. If you do like a lot of trailer towing and stuff like that, where your brakes heat up a lot, they do help, or racing applications. But daily driver,
it ain't worth the extra expense.
We tried them one time years back at work. We were having problems on our Impalas and Malibus, warping rotors on the front. Well, actually, all four, but the fronts were worse. So we tried to get in the Jordan slotted ones and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff, and it kept happening. Here, it turned out the things are so thin and so cheaply made, if you do not torque the wheel nuts down to the proper specs, it pulls different tension on it, and when they heat up and come contract, they actually warp. There was a TSB thing on it saying that you have to use a torque wrench. You can't use the torque sticks or the torque sockets to tighten the lug nuts down on them, because the material that they're made of is so thin. And I can remember when we were doing those, I think those rotors were $19 or $20 a piece. I mean, they were dirt cheap, but they're only maybe a half-inch thick. I mean, they weren't nothing.
I mean, I could probably get by with these down here. They've never really been turned, so I could probably get them turned. But nowadays, it's cheaper to go ahead and put a new set on and use the anymore. I mean, but one more question, Ed. General Motors, GMC, would this be a ground wire problem? The headlights keep flickering on and off, flickering just a little bit small flicker to them, and they is a pickup truck. Would that be a grounding problem?
It can be yes, it can be a grounding problem, because they have a ground stud out on the cowl or the front radiator support, core support. That's a very good possibility, or it could be the switch itself.
No. Well, this GMC out here has been doing it ever since I had it, and it aggravates the piss out of me. I mean, trying to drive at night, if you happen to turn on the signal lights or you turn on hit the brakes or something, you can see a little twitch of the lights. And
that could, okay, Toyota 4Runner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're most of your Toyota brakes usually are pretty much just like most any of the American make cars, they ain't that too much difference in working on them than
He said they had the 4 piston calipers, and
uh,
I I've never seen 4 piston calipers on any kind of pickup truck or anything. The only thing I've ever seen them on's like race cars and stuff.
race cars and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're usually an aftermarket thing, and they're usually like a foot long.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm happy about finding them cheap. So I thought about doing it uh, one evening, but I'm like, nah, I think I'm gonna wait till next weekend in case I run into something bad.
yeah. But that's just. But there's no side. The thing I hate about the headlights on this GMC is there's no adjustment on the headlights either. It looks like you got a whole big blind spot when whenever you doing something. I mean, unless I run with the fog lights on, I can't see. There's a big hole in the middle of it, a whole big dark spot in the middle of it. And
I see my
you can't move them side to side. I mean, there is no adjustment from side to side.
well, there's no adjustment on mine either, but mine have plastic mounts that mount on that core support,
Yeah,
and over time and everything they get brittle, and they're all broke and cracked and everything else, and the screw adjustment screws are all cracked. Um, it's a cheap fix. Each piece is on one for each side. They're only $19 a piece, but you got to basically tear the whole front end of the truck apart to get to them.
yeah.
And I need new headlight buckets and everything else, and I found those online for like $75 for the set, and that includes the headlights and marker lights because those are separate on that truck. It's a shit box, and I don't know if I want to go through all that.
Well,
I probably put the brakes on the thing now, and I tripled the value of the truck. You know,
well, but like I said, there's 2015 out here now. If I said it's a shit box, the finance company would probably want to shoot me. So,
yeah,
but
definitely.
I mean, it's kind of what it is. I mean, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. That the headlights on that doggone truck is the only downside I got to the truck. I mean, if I could, but like you said, I got to take to change the bulbs. You got to take the doggone air box out of it. You don't have to take the battery out of it, but you got to take the air box and all that stuff out one side to get that bulb in. The other side, you got something else you have to move. So, yeah, Wayne, there's times I have felt like doing that for that truck.
Yeah, well, I actually have one of those LED light bars. It's supposed to go above the windshield.
Yeah,
I've got one of those for it, and I've got a 12-inch LED bar that can mount on the front bumper. I just don't like people coming at me with those on, so I have a hard time.
yeah, it's the sad part about it is the um, is the coming off this doggone mountain at night, trying to see deer on the side of the road and stuff like that. I mean, there is it's wall to wall deer up here on the mountain, and they know they're safe because there ain't no distance to shoot. They shoot them as long as they stay in the neighborhood here. There ain't no safe distance to shoot them, so they just pile up here, and they've been several times I've had to slam on the brakes and everything else, swerve all over the road, and try to miss a deer. So, well, Sam's that thing should be just broke in by now.
So I was looking up Tam's vehicle there because
Yeah,
I wanted to see what it was. Uh, yeah, them brake calipers, uh, $65 a piece at Napa. That's not bad
no,
for the 4-piston ones. 2-piston ones are like 52 or 53.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's just you just got it broke in good, Thams. If it's for '03 Toyota toy motor, I mean, but uh, yeah, something like that. I had a daggum, I had a older model Toyota SR5, and I was too scared to change the oil in it. I mean, we bought it. It was one of the giveaway cars up in Maryland. I mean, they give it to the old man as long if he wanted it and had room on the truck to pull it home. So it was one of the giveaway cars up in Maryland. So we brought it home. You could tell the oil was already black in it. We was kind of scared to change the oil in it. And my sister still put 100,000 miles on that daggone car. The oil never was changed in it.
Yeah,
It was just it was too. I figured everything would go to rattling on it if we changed the oil in.
yeah. Tam, looking at those calipers, I would check the slide pins before I replace the calipers because the way it looks and the way those slide pins go in, those might be froze up, and that may be why you think that the calipers sticking.
Good possibility.
Especially if one pad's wore down way more than the other one, it's definitely stuck. And don't use never sees on the slide pins, people.
On the what?
On the slide pins for the brake pad for the brake calipers,
Oh,
do not use never sees.
no, that
You
stuff will get and wear stuff down if it gets on your rotors or whatever.
well, never sees will harden. It will turn
Yeah,
hard.
well,
The best thing is
it's got a little one I had a while back had a little grit in it. I don't know if there was something on my finger already, but I put it on something I did like that, and it was gritty. It probably came off of what I was putting it on.
the best thing is the ceramic slide or ceramic grease. Um, I use the purple stuff. It comes other colors and different, greens and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, do not put frickin' never sees on your calipers. They will seize. I
Well,
guarantee it.
well, that's kind of the thing about this 91 out here. 91 pickup I'm working on, and it is that doggone lithium grease or whatever they put on it on every plug on that son.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go out there and wiggle the daggone plug to get something to work. Yeah, and then sit there 10 minutes scraping them down before you can put them back on. I mean,
Well, that's because the components are so cheaply made now and so thin.
yeah,
They can't afford to get any corrosion in them. That's why they put the dielectric grease in there.
yeah, it's but I mean, but that stuff gets hard too. I mean, when they caked it on from the factory, but you end up having to sit out there and scrape them and scrape, because I can't afford a new wiring harness to go on that something.
Yeah, but never sees is designed to coat a bolt or a nut on the inside and keep the two surfaces from sticking. It's not meant for moving parts.
Darn, I was going to use them on what I was going to use them on putting on head bolts.
You can do that if you want, but if it's something that has to slide and move, don't use
Yeah.
never sees.
Uh, yeah, but
I mean, you can coat the hub with it and put your brake rotor on, and it may keep it from rusting. Myself, I like using the flood film. I've had really good luck over the last 8-9 years that I've been using it. Coat the back side of that rotor where it goes over the hub down with it, or not the rotor, but the rotor. And the ones I've done in the last 7-8 years, taking them back off, they come right back off. But
Well, I mean, they don't make them. They don't make them last anytime. Last anytime anymore either. I mean,
no, they don't.
I mean, went to. I had to get the brakes. Went to scrape it on it, and I didn't feel like working on it, so I took it over to the Chevrolet place and let them put them on it. You know, because they're gonna do the oil change and all that anyway. You know, I let them because I don't want to screw nothing up on that doggone lightweight, that no weight oil, basically at 0 20 or whatever the heck it is, 0W20 or whatever, and by the time I found out that by the time I went and bought that oil and everything, the filter and everything else, it's better off to just take it to them, let them change the doggone oil, than it is for me to change the oil because I don't get no discounts and all that stuff, you know. And they'll rotate the tires and all that too. So I just let them go over there, and I don't have to spend a day doing all the work and not saving nothing. So.
Tam, you're right. And I've noticed on a lot of the car commercials now that they are, like here in Ohio, we have some auto plants. It says, buy the best cars assembled in America or something. You know, they're saying they're not they're not made in America. They're assembled in America.
They got the Volvo plant out here beside of us. They got busted for that because they're putting "Made in America" stickers on the side of them all them new trucks. They got busted for every one of them daggone trucks that "Made in America." They finally had to come back and start saying "Assembled in America."
Well, and I also noticed too on a lot of stickers it says "Made in America," then down in the fine print it says "with globally sourced parts."
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
and I mean, I mean, back a year, I went down to Miami one day, and I picked up a load of T-shirts that was going to these high. I think I was going to the Gap. It was going to a Gap warehouse or something or another, and they that what I sat out there. I sat out there all day long waiting on this load to get them to get my load ready. What they were doing was they were actually taking T-shirts and cutting the doggone tags out of them, and sewing "Made in America." The tag was "Made in America," so in "Made in America" tags in on the inside of the shirt. And
Dang.
I mean, all this stuff was coming off of container out of one of the containers, and the sad part is, you know, the main reason I noticed it was that I they give me two I guess since I sit there all daggum day long, she give me two T-shirts, and I started looking back there where the tag was at, and you could see where underneath the lip where they'd cut the stick thing out and sewed another in. So
Dang.
I,
So
I
what
will.
they were doing was taking them out of the made in China boxes
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever, made in wherever boxes, resewing a made in America
tag on it,
tag
yeah,
on the back and putting them in made in America boxes.
and then shipping them out to these high price places in the malls that have those
Dang.
you know, you pay 3 times as much for a T-shirt there than you do at Walmart. Well,
Yeah.
that's basically that's
Back
That's
back in high
basically,
back in high school, I worked for a company, little local company here that did a lot of like screen printing and transfer printing and stuff of T-shirts. They
yeah,
go to all the fairs and they had a big store. You go in and have T-shirts made up and stuff like that. One of my jobs was about once a month they'd get a semi load of T-shirts, and they were big boxes, and they'd be Hanes and all that kind of stuff. But all the tags had a split in them. There
yeah,
was a defect in them somewhere. And
yeah,
Huh.
one of our jobs, there's like 6 of us. Open that box up, and you lay the T-shirt. You look at the size because they're all supposed to be the same size. But you lay that T-shirt out, and you look for anything like on the arms where they're sewed on. Make sure there's no little cut, little like missed stitches or anything like that. Make sure the seams around the bottom, the seams around the neck. All the ones that past that got put on one pile. Sometimes you'd get one that had one sleeve on it, or no sleeves on it, or it wouldn't have the collar around the thing here.
yeah.
That went into another pile. I finally asked the guy the one day. I said, what do you pay for these things? He said, you don't want to know. I said, yeah, I do. For a box that was probably 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot, and it was all by weight. It wasn't by count.
Yeah.
Stuffed full. He was paying $3 a box.
Yep.
To walk in
Wow.
the store and have a T-shirt made with that T-shirt, have a stock picture on the wall brought down, and like ironed onto your T-shirt, $15.
Nowadays it's $30.
It cost him about 50 cents to make the iron on.
Yeah.
So you tell me how much he was making on them T-shirts.
He was making bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when fair season come around, they had us, and they knew what was kind of selling and what was kind of going to be going on. We would make up hundreds of these T-shirts, pre-printed. They just fold them up and they put them in the trailer, and then of course they had the transfer machines there too, for the show. If somebody wanted a T-shirt, they'd pull one out and throw it on, and here, hot off the press, And at the fairs, they charged even more for them because it's at the fair. And I'm like, there ain't no wonder, dude, you're driving around in a Cadillac and all this gold and stuff on, and can afford to pay your counter girls, that work up front, $10 an hour to stand there and put transfers on.
They had a lot of Fruit of the Looms down here in South Louisiana. One in General, they had one in Abbeville, and that was a brand new plant. 4 months later, they shut that Fruit of the Loom down. All brand new building, built. Fruit of the Loom bought the property, built this huge, huge building to make Fruit of the Loom underwear and whatever they made. And 4 months later, they shut down, fired everybody, well, laid everybody off, and moved their buying stuff or having their stuff made, in China.
Yeah.
Overseas, Asia somewhere. I don't know if it's China, but somewhere there.
I mean, that's what I used to do. I used to haul that there, thread, or no, it was the, kind of the polyester / whatever that DuPont made. I mean, that's what I was doing, was hauling that stuff all over the Southeast. And they, all of a sudden, NAFTA kicked in after Bill Clinton signed NAFTA. And all of a sudden, didn't see it all happening then, but after that, every one of them daggone plants shut down within 6 months. They even had a big furniture plant right here in this factory, and a sock factory right here in this town. And they took all their daggone business overseas.
I wonder if Lazy Boy still has their plant for the Lazy Boy recliner chairs. They had a plant in Dayton, Tennessee, which is kind of northeast of Chattanooga. That's where they had the monkey trials at, the scope trials for that teacher teaching It went against the Bible, put it that way. And this was a long time ago, and they went to court and all that. But anyway, Dayton, Tennessee, they had a Lazy Boy plant there, and I don't know
Yeah.
if it's still there or not
No,
nowadays.
they've closed all them down, Cajun.
They did. What a shame.
There was two in Mississippi. They just that Lane had bought Lazy Boy, and
Oh,
Lane Furniture just they just laid everybody off within the last 6 months.
well, I thought they still carry the Lazy Boy name though,
Yeah,
right?
they carried the
Okay,
name, Lazy Boy name,
okay.
but they were owned by Lane Furniture, and I mean I used to pick up them plants in Mississippi all the time, and they all that stuff went to China, went to China too, and now all they do is bring them back here and repackage the damn things. I mean, we got you know Pulaski Furniture, that used to be a big name in furniture too. I mean, we got still got the old big 6-story build 6-story building here in town where they made that stuff at, and not out of towners don't. But it was still. But anyway, they still have a warehouse over here for Pulaski Furniture, Ethan Allen, all that's under the same name now. So, but they bring it back. They bring it back over there and rebox it and repackage it. I mean, basically, like you was talking about with them T-shirts, they check them over, and the ones they can fix, they fix it. The ones they can't, they just go ahead and throw them away. But I mean, but that's Lane. I mean, uh, they got all the textile mills shut down around here. So, hey, Raging, how are you doing tonight, sir?
All right, Jim.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Daryl, I just got the notification that my order is ready to pick up, so I'm gonna get out of here so I can get there and get back. I
all right.
appreciate it, and we'll
Thank
catch
you
you
for coming
all.
by here.
Catch you all on the next one. So,
All right.
bye, everybody.
Good time.
It comes on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock. So
Yeah.
be there. Well, you got a cooking video or something of another video comes out tomorrow, don't you usually, Ed?
I got a garage video coming out tomorrow morning at 4 a.m.
All right.
And he's got some good cooking videos. Y'all check him out.
Yeah.
Those are on Wednesdays. So,
All righty. Yeah. So you got the Jeep. Y'all finally got the Jeep running there, Cajun?
Johnny got it wrapped up this morning. He put the battery in and fired it up and went cruising around town.
Yeah.
Test drive. I got him a few groceries, him and somebody else, and so you heading out, Sam's World,
I think it's
or are you
said
saying by
the
head?
hood, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's Miss Missy.
Yeah. Well, at least
Missy
y'all
took it around the block a couple times.
You know who that one is, don't you, Cage?
What?
Missy. You know who that Missy is, don't you?
Oh yeah,
I figured you'd know that one. So,
oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Rayjon, where you at right now? Hey, grab that link. Come on up in here, Rayjon.
yeah, just
Link's
grab
pinned
it.
to the top.
Yeah.
That little blue square.
Yep. It's I got if you ain't driving or something other Raging, jump on in here and we'll
Oh, he does it driving too.
oh he's driving.
Oh, nothing, Renegade. He took it out. You know, keep people from, doing what they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at $125 battery, so well, it's cheaper than that. My cost. I bought it on the shop's account and got the lifetime warranty. Yeah, it's an interstate battery, so it's a lifetime. Uh, Not really it's kind of lifetime warranty, but it's a brand new warranty. I had an interstate battery, and I could have traded it in. Wouldn't have hardly cost me nothing, just a couple bucks, 20 bucks. Or because I didn't use that warranty twice,
Yeah.
and all that's in their computer. So, but the interstate battery, the one when I bought it from my buddy up in Indiana, well, he was down here when I bought it for the winter. That Jeep used to live up north, but in the summertime he'd go places after all the salt's away. That's why that Jeep's not all rusted. The frame's not all rusted, to heck and back. But I brought it back to Sadler's, an interstate store, and then not even 3 years later, I had to bring it back. But this time I paid outright for it and got the full warranty. I think it's 2 or 3 year, no prorate, 2 or 3 year free trade in. Yeah.
There's a place downtown down here. And it's about 20 miles from here. It's called Rural King.
Yeah, that's kind of a cousin to Tractor Supply.
Yeah, and their battery is about half what the price of them is, but they don't last as long.
Right. I'd rather buy. Well, I got it for $89, I think. With the discounts for the shop. And I just paid Johnny when we got back home here. I just paid Johnny outright cash. For that way he could pay the bill at the end of the month. I gave him the money back for it. What he did with it after that, none of my business. but he pays his bills. Anyway, got that taken care of, and only had one time it went down, and because the dome light stayed on. That on the signal light switch, there's like your windshield wiper or whatever, and fog lights. It came with fog lights from the factory. Not fog lights, extra nighttime running lights on the bottom in the bumper or whatever. But the dome light on the signal light, they got an adjustment for that. How long it stays on, and it was on. Even while you were driving it down the road, it was on. The dome light. So
I've snatched the bulbs out of them when they got like that.
But no, I looked in the owner's manual, or I was thinking about it. Somebody might have said, check your signal light, and so I did, and sure enough, it was on. Never noticed it. In the daytime, you don't notice it. And every once in a while, I look to make sure they go off.
Yeah. Well, how you doing tonight, Raging?
Yeah, how you, Raging?
We had to come down here to Laredo to pick up a load going up to somewhere up in Michigan.
Oh,
what you hauling?
So you do get to check out your glad hand pack if you're going to Laredo, because they will still glad hand bushings all day long in Laredo.
Yeah, the rubber bushings keep them tight.
Yep.
Yeah, they go resell them. What you hauling, Raging?
Don't know yet. It hadn't come across the border.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. You're in Mexico or Laredo?
No, I'm in Laredo, Texas, but we're waiting for the truck that's bringing it over to bring it over.
Oh, that stuff ain't crossed the border. Okay.
No, the load hadn't crossed the border yet.
The U.S. side is Laredo. The other side is New Laredo. But yeah, that you can take. I've took brand new trailers down there to go across that border, and it comes back with no lights on it, or no lights. The brand new tires that was on that trailer had come back with with no treads at all. I mean, racing slick for trailer tires.
Yep.
And
They swap
glad
tires.
hand, and they automatically take the glad hand bushings out of them to start with.
No, we don't drop our trailer to pick up another one. They got a spot down here where they cross dock it basically. They bring it in, take it off that trailer, and put it on ours.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the. Did you know the little airlines I'm talking about when I told you on the video last night, the ones that come out the firewall, right up against the firewall and from the incident for the dash
Yep.
bushings and all that stuff. Those little things, they will. For a Freightliner was always bad about them. I mean, I had 2 or 3 times that I had some of them to pop loose, and after the first one, I learned to even when I was in a company truck, I learned to carry extra fittings in with me, so I didn't have to sit out there for half the night waiting on a daggum service truck to come out there and fix the air leak.
Yeah, you could definitely wait a couple hours on a service truck.
Yeah.
Depending on where your truck breaks down, yeah. I've had to wait 10 hours on the side of the road one night. A service truck took me.
I've done that too. I have done that. And one more thing to add to your toolboxes. You might have said it when I got out to get a drink or something, but just a plain little test light will get you out of a lot of problems too. Just a plain, you know what I'm talking about. Got a little light bulb and all that stuff in it.
Yeah.
Having that in your truck will also get you out of a pinch, because you can just if I had I've had lights, tail lights on the trailer and all that stuff that I could by the time I waited on them to get out there to fix it, I done had it fixed, and I'm 300 miles down the road.
When I was shopping for CFI, I think I was in Houston or something like that, where that Petro is on I-10 in Houston.
Yeah.
I had to get a trailer light replaced, and they were trying to tell me to take it over to the shop. I'm like, why? Just get me a light and get me the rubber garment. I can put it on myself faster and cheaper than they can ever do. They're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, just give me a PO. I'll go over there and get a tail light and a rubber garment, put it in myself. I saved them $150 in labor.
I mean, there was a lot of times that, I went when it goes. When I went by a company shop, this is back when I was company driver. When I went by a company shop, I would pick up extra trailer lights. I'd pick up extra dash lights, because there's always going on. Then I'd pick up some extra little odd and end things. And one day I pulled into the shop to get my truck serviced, and they said, "What are you doing with all this stuff? Do you know how much money this will cost the company?" I said, "Do you know how much money that little box right there has saved the company?" I said, "Don't go get." He started trying to take my box away. I said, "You take that box away, and me and you gonna fight." And you probably get beat by your own damn pry bar there in a minute. You take my box away from me, because I said I ain't got time to worry about this stuff. If I go to pick up a trailer and a daggum tail lights out on it, or a side marker lights out, I'm not gonna sit here for 4 or 5 hours just waiting for them to come out and pop a daggum side marker light out and pop one in. I mean, they didn't like it too much. That particular guy, he was one that they'd brought into that shop, and he was trying to save the company money, and so he thought he seen all that box full of goodies I had in the side box, and he wanted to take it. Well, I always carried about 3 gallons of oil in the side box. I always carried me about 3 gallons of the windshield wiper stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
fluid, and all that stuff. It would as stuff that I would pick up while we're at the shop. I wouldn't have to send in bills for it and all this stuff to get my money back. But I mean, they don't realize how much money they said, well, you ain't supposed to be working on this truck, these trucks. I said, well, I said, you don't. I said, you don't want me to have to, because I will. I said, I'll if you want me to start sitting inside the damn road for this long a time, or sitting in a dragon drop yacht somewhere. I said, that's your problem. I said, if these wheels ain't rolling, I ain't getting paid. So I'm not gonna sit here. And he just he finally let me have my little box back. I mean, I'm well.
Yeah, I
They come
was
on.
I was I was notorious for carrying extra stuff in my truck. Open
Yeah,
my side boxes. Open my side box. I had 6 extra gallons of oil, 6 extra gallons of washer fluid, coolant in there. I mean, I had it all. I
yeah,
wasn't sitting nowhere to get. No, if I didn't have to
but
sit on the side of the road, I ain't sitting on the side of the road.
no, but there's like I said, I even had the little brass fittings where I could, or if that doggone air dryer valve got stuck or something, that I could take and bypass the air dryer on it until I could get to a truck stop somewhere. So that
Hmm.
I didn't, because one day I had a dedicated run, and one day I topped the it was all 2 lane highway, but I was getting sleep in my bed every night, so I was happy about it. I'd make it 2 round trips a day, and I was getting about 2,400 miles, 100 miles a week, and it was pouring down rain out there, and I and that doggone air dryer blocked open, and I got it off the road, and I just went out there. Luckily, I had all I had to do then while it was pouring rain so hard was I tapped on it a couple times and it went back to working where that valve had stuck. But when I got to the place I was going delivering to, I went ahead and just aired down the whole damn truck and took that apart and put that daggum little brass fitting between the two pipes. That way, I'm bypassing the whole air dryer until I could get it to a shop to get that took care of. I
Hmm.
mean, those it hit you. You just about got to carry part half a garage with you if you don't want to say it. I mean, then when you're on operator, I had a daggum extra alternator and everything else underneath the bunk with that all when I finally bought my own truck.
Yeah, being an owner operator, I mean, you try to cut corners wherever you can to save a little bit of money to keep the truck
Yeah,
rolling.
yep, and I definitely didn't need to pay that daggum extra $200 to come out in the middle of the night for a service call. Uh,
Yeah, that's one reason why I got all those tools on there. But there's certain things I can't do. I mean, there's a lot I can do, but there's certain things I can't do.
yeah, I mean, mine mainly most of my stuff that I really did, you know, when I was owner operator, most of the stuff I did was like, I could fix all the lights on the truck, or I could do little odd and end things. I'd already have it pretty well troubleshooted by the time the mechanics finally got there.
Hmm.
So I mean, I kind of knew what to tell them that um, kind of knew what I needed whenever the service from bring it first time on the service truck, because usually if you get even if you get a blowout on the road, you know as well as I do. 50% of the time, they still got to turn around and go back and get the damn tire. And you've already told them you had a blowout.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some real pieces of work that they send out on the service calls.
Or you go through a main terminal for a trucking company, and you tell the guys, "Look, my truck needs new tires," and they completely ignore you. And then you get back out on the road, and guess what? See, at that point, CFI had super singles on their trucks, and I had one blow on me.
Oh,
It pretty much took out the side skirt. It bent the arms on the snow chain box completely down. Almost took the fuel tank hangers off. I mean, it did some damage.
yeah. And well, I've been noticing out here at Volvo, or these trucks coming out of Volvo now, they're not doing as many of those super singles. That was going to be the next big thing, but I guess the wintertime truck truck deals, I think that put these trucking companies wanting duals back on them trucks because they them daggum super singles. All they want to do is get in snow and spin, and they couldn't get no traction out of them or nothing else. So,
Well, those you have somewhat of an advantage because if you blow one of those, you
yeah,
can
you can.
potentially limp it to the next exit where a truck stop is and get
Yeah,
it fixed. But with the super single, you're dead in the water. You can't move that truck anymore.
yeah. I mean, I spent 10 years with Transport America, and back in them days, they were a good company to work for. But they'd usually if I told them I had a dash light out, they'd pull the truck on in there and put the dash light in. But
Mhm.
I did have bulbs in the side box, but since I was at a terminal, I went ahead and got them to fix it. But they were uh then when the old man died, that actually owned the company, which he owned a big stake in Ruan too. So, but he the guy that took it that started running the company afterwards. He basically run it in the ground. He sold off all the property the terminals was on and all this stuff. And then they wanted to start getting hard up uh about every little thing, nickel and dime little thing. And they one day they put on a set of daggum they put on new recaps on the truck because when they serviced it, they put new recaps on it. I get down to Florida, pulled in that uh at her shoot Petro down there in on 75, and I went to fuel the truck, and I looked out, and I got a big old basketball between my tires. And for one of them recaps, it didn't seat good, and the air got in the outside bubble of it, and they wanted to give me a hard time about it. I said, I ain't about 20 miles to the Ocala scales. I said, I'm sitting at a Petro. Do you want me to get this tire fixed while I'm at Petro, or do you want to send the service truck out to get it? I said, I'm on a dedicated run. I do not have, I don't, I'm not, my disc truck I'm already late running this dedicated run because the service it took. I mean, I had to schedule everything with that truck, you know, but I said, but I was, I said, you want me to get a tire put on this truck or not? I said, well, we just put tires on that truck. I said, you did. New recaps, but the doggone recap didn't seat right on it, and it's got a daggone balloon on the side of it sticking between tires. Well, we can't spend this kind of money on tires on a truck. I said, boss man, this ain't. I said, you can't accuse me of nothing to do with this tire. It's just got a bubble on it. I said, I'll send you down. I'll get the shop to send you down pictures of the damn tire if you need to. I mean, because then we didn't have right before cell phone, and he said, no, I said, well, you can get it fixed here, or I can go down there at the scale house in Florida, down in Ocala at the scale house, and I'll just pull in there and gradually go in there and ask them, was it was it was that a DOT item? And then let y'all pay the ticket on this since it's not a DOT item. I said, if it lasts that long, but I mean, but I said they ain't no use me going past a place that I can get it fixed. I mean, because they didn't like to spend no money at all in Florida because everything's so expensive there in Florida, I guess. But and I said, it's not my fault. I said, y'all are the ones that. I mean, I still had half. I considered I had half a tread on the daggum ones they took off. I was pissed off that they took them off.
And it wasn't a recap, the one they took off,
No,
probably.
they wouldn't recaps.
And they put you a recap, knowing something gonna go wrong with it
I
sooner or
mean,
later.
every 2 years, I got a brand new truck anyway. So, because I mean, I was a trainer and everything else. So I said, you don't want me to stop at the scale house and ask him, is that a DOT item? Because y'all will be paying this ticket. I said, and besides that, I ain't going 200 miles down the road and have to sit side of the road for 8 to 10 hours because they ain't no truck stops down there where I'm going. And they said, well, go ahead and get them to put a steer tire on that truck till we get back to the
Wait a
shop.
minute, they had a recap for a steer tire?
No.
Oh, okay.
They had recaps on the drives, but they were
Okay.
but instead of buying just a drive tire, it was cheaper for them to just buy a steer tire, and then when they got it back to the shop, they could switch it back out with and put a recap that would match the recaps they already had on the truck.
Oh boy,
So
yeah, because
and then they got an extra steer tire sitting there waiting in case one comes in needing a steer tire. I
yeah,
mean, it made sense in a way, but I mean, they took all the tires out that was on mine and used them as trailer tires. So, but that's how I knew that it was a. They wanted to start arguing with me, and that started my downhill slide from them. I mean, like I said, I'd been with them 10 years, and then when they started wanting to do that stuff, and then they want to start taking away the Southeast Regional and all that too. So, and and next thing I mean, I had never really held them to the Southeast region because all winter long I run daggum Minnesota, Wisconsin, and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know whether Raging, I don't know whether you was with CFI or not when them and Transport America got merged together or not, but I don't know whether you ever went up and seen the Crystal Palace they built in Minnesota, but
when CFI and Transport America merged, I was actually driving for Transport America.
okay.
I drove for CFI for a couple years. Now the wife was with CFI back in the old days when they had the red 660s.
Yeah.
I remember those red trucks
Yeah, he was, but
and the big CFI on the trailer.
Uh-huh.
yeah, but they tried to take the company public and then they sold off all the terminals and then started renting them back and all that stuff. They were just wiping, trying to get as much money out of it as they possibly could. That was, and then they've operated another 15 years. But then I guess they got merged together. So, but
Yeah,
I mean,
the company that bought the truckload department off of XPO when XPO bought it from Conway.
uh-huh.
Bought Transport America and they merged them together.
Yeah, it was
That's a company out of Canada, TFI.
Wayne. We di- we actually I wasn't actually driving for Steelcase, but when Han Furniture bought out Steelcase bought out Han, one of the two, I can't remember whatever, but I used to run a lot of Han, so I was so and I have had Steelcase parts on my truck
Hmm.
because they were kind of merging together at the time. I've had
Yeah, I've pulled flatbed, I've pulled reefer, I've pulled van. I mean, I pretty much pulled it all. I've
yeah
done
when
oversized.
I had a dedicated run when I was Transport America. I had a dedicated run running reefer from Baltimore down through Georgia, and and I had I was running yeast. My truck always had a damn yeast infection every time it was loaded up. So, I mean, I was hauling yeast from one. I'd have 5, 6 stops on that load, and I slept 4 nights a week in my own bed at the house. So it tickled me to death. I mean, getting paid all them extra stops. Then at one place I had to, to do a little bit of shuffling around, tailgating, and I got paid. I got paid a stop. I mean, I got paid a truck unload for that one. So I mean, and so I had, I had it made there. I mean, you couldn't really ask for no better dedicated run.
No.
But I mean, but then but I didn't. The only shop I could go by was Atlanta, and then I had to make special arrangements to get my truck serviced when I went through Atlanta and all that stuff. So, but it was great for years. I mean, and then they then like I said, they wanted to start getting they wanted to start getting trying to get money back for stockholders and all that stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
the drivers used to have a say so about certain things that they took all that away. So I mean, it got to the point where they were where they were trying to do what they had Southeast Regional, and then but every winter because they found out I could get in and out of up there. They from when they then General Motors started closed down that daggum uh, GM plant there in Janesville, Wisconsin, where they had one of the terminals at,
Hmm.
and then then so there I went up through there one night. One night I was had took a load up in Chicago. I wasn't even supposed to be there, uh, but anyway, they they said they said I got a message in the middle of the daggum night. I told them I wasn't didn't have no hours, so I was just gonna sleep there at the customer because I didn't want to pick up a daggum load in the middle of the night and try to run during the middle of the night. So, well, they sent me a message welcome. Well, can you do us a favor? I said, oh God, you know what that means. Well, they had a Sears account. They had the Sears account then. Um, we it's got to go. It's it's past due getting picked up, and we need you to go over there and pick it up and take it up to Janesville, and we'll have a driver waiting on you when you get to Janesville. I said, well, okay. Well, I got to Janesville. They said, oh, we still haven't found a driver for that load. Can you keep trying? And the whole damn yard is full of it's snowing like a sun gun, and the whole damn yard is full of drivers that wouldn't move. They kept saying, they said, they said, can you take this load? We find it looking for a driver en route that we can relay it off to. And uh, I said, okay. Me like a dumbass. I had tore that page out of my logbook and started a new one because I'd have a fresh 10 hours. I knew I was going to be the dumb bastard. Ended up having to take it to Milwaukee, take it up to the Twin Cities. And so I got there, and every 45 minutes I sent them, you found another driver yet? You found another driver yet? And nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. And finally they sent me a message that we have a driver at so and so location that will take your load. I said, do what? I said, I'm 150 miles past that location. I said, I might as well take it on up there and deliver the daggum thing by now.
Right.
I said, I'm already, I don't pass the scales in Minnesota. I said, I'm almost eating. I said, so, and the other place ain't but 10 miles from there to where I was going to. I said, so I might as well just deliver it. Okay. I mean, I go inside and I go to deliver the load, and so I sent them a message, said I am Gift Slam out. I'm going over to the terminal over in Egan, and I'm going to bed. And I said, okay. I said they ain't got no empties here, so I ain't worried about looking for an empty. It's snowing too daggum hard and all this stuff. I mean, it was basically a blizzard up through there, and I still got that load there on time. And I mean, me and my idiot ass was out there in the hammer lane, just hammering down, just holding on to all I could do. But I still made the damn appointment time. And and then I went into the terminal, took a shower, come back out to the truck. I had 5 messages on that doggone Qualcomm. The one of the head guys of the Sears account, he said he actually a head guy at a company said, thank you for showing your hustle and blah 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 on all this stuff. You just saved us $1 million account by making this load on time because we're about to lose Sears.
Wow.
And then he said, what can we do to get the what can we do to get? I said, well, ask me what did I need to do, and I said, well, I'm a southeast regional driver in Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota is in the southeast. How about getting my butt back? I said the terminal is full of these wussy drivers sitting in here. They're scared of snowstorms. I said, but I said I need I need a load to get me out of here and headed back south. And so next thing I knew, one picking up at midnight going to Muscatine, Iowa. Well, and it was already ready when I got there to pick it up. You know, I went to sleep and got up at midnight and went over there and picked that up, and it had just all that doggone snow had done packed it out in the ice and everything else. But I wasn't gonna let that stop me. all them other wussy drivers sitting in the terminal. Well, how did you get a load? How did you get a load? Everything's supposed to be closed down up here. Blah blah blah. I said, you just got to know the right people. When I walked with all them other drivers, said when they seen that I just pulled in, and I already had a load, and well, when I got to Muscatine, Iowa, there was that was right. This place I delivered at was right down the road from Han Furniture, so they give me a load going to Han Furniture, and I was home by Friday. I was home Friday morning from and me in Minnesota, thinking I wasn't even gonna get close to home for that weekend, and I was sitting at the house, and I had uh, it was a load going down to Charleston to the ports at Charleston down there, and then I had to help unload that daggum all heavy ass haulage furniture. But I mean, I ended up with about a 3,500 mile a week that week, so I couldn't complain. I had 3 days off at the house. Well, and I already run 3,500 miles, so I couldn't really complain. So I don't guess.
My first year when I was with Conway, when they were Conway, when Conway bought out CFI, I netted over 125,000 miles my first year with them, and that was basically Texas running.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas was my money state, but me and my dispatcher, we had an understanding. She set my loads up pretty much for the whole week. On the weekend, she always made sure I had my run. There was one weekend, somebody took one of my runs away from me. That Monday rolled around. My dispatcher called me up, says, "Why are you sitting all weekend?" I'm like, "Dispatcher took the load off of me. What do you want me to do?" She's like, "Who took the load off?" I look at the messages. She found that dispatcher, turned that dispatcher over to the ops manager, and that dispatcher got his pink slip.
Yeah. I was I drove I when I quit Transport America, I looked around and there wasn't nobody even with over 10 years experience, and I had 11 years experience, and nobody was, nobody, and I was going to try. I decided I'd try dart. So I went out. I took the gray dog from South Carolina to Texas out there. Dart had one of their big terminals right across the road from CFI there. And so I went out there. I wasn't gonna buy a truck from Dart. I had it set up with the with a Freightliner dealership down in Waco. I was gonna buy one of them select trucks or whatever it was.
My tablet is overheating. It's getting ready to shut itself off. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you jumping up there, Cajun, Raging Cajun. So anything special happened down your part of the world this week, Cajun? Sorry, I didn't mean to make conversation all about you, all about me and that. Oh, okay. Yeah. I appreciate everybody that's come by. Yeah. And like I was saying, Wayne, I've actually been to Steelcase, and I picked up some stuff, but it was right about the time when Han and them was getting ready to merge together, Han Furniture. But
Okay, I'm back.
yeah. Well,
I had to finish editing that video that I
right.
made. A little bit here, a little bit there. That's why you see me look down and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I was. I mean, I
was listening though.
Yeah,
I just
got.
couldn't talk. I had myself muted.
Well, I knew I've been running my mouth a lot tonight, but
No,
I may
but you
be
see, I
getting
had to mute myself because Missy was putting up pots and dishes and stuff.
yeah.
You know, after she, she washed the dishes, dried them,
Hello,
a
Miss
towel
Missy.
dried them, and put them back. But man, that was like clank, 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 ding, 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 or clank, 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 clank. So I'm like, no, I don't want
Yeah,
that
now,
again.
you keep talking like that, and I'm gonna see Miss Missy turn around there with that frying pan and pop you in the back of the head.
No, she knows that, because I mean it's part of the kitchen duties.
Yeah, she's gonna turn around there in a minute and pop you in the back of the head with a skillet.
Yeah, if I would tell her to quit doing that and take a
Yeah,
break, then because she don't take a break. She gets something done, she's doing it.
yeah,
You can still hear the forks and the silverware clanging.
yeah. I see her back there, but I mean it's but I kind of got on a few subjects tonight that I've been looking for some answers and stuff like that. But and then we get to talk trucking, on this live chat because I mean I figure everybody's doing tools and uh the tools, the coins, and all that stuff. And be honest with you, all my coins that I had, my brother stole all of them. So my old coins and stuff. So I never got back into it. So I wouldn't know whether a nickel's worth a penny or anything like that anymore about that stuff. But I mean, Delisa still got a few silver dollars and stuff like that around, and some jewelry and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I got a few pieces of silver, a couple of little pieces of gold. Just some little
yeah,
uh $10 picker,
yeah,
when they panning for gold.
yeah,
I got some of that, one or two, maybe three little pickers,
yeah.
not quite a nugget, a small nugget. They just call them pickers. And
Hmm.
$5 worth of gold, $10. It's pretty in the little vial.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's so. I mean, I know, I ain't getting the getting that much of a crowd. Like 2 years ago, I would have had 100. I'd have had 100 people, 100 people just went through my live stream in 2 hours. But now I can't get. Now I can't hardly get 45 or 50. So, but
What's up with that?
I mean, I appreciate each one of them, but because they're sticking around. But you know, back then I was hanging more with the biker crowd and all that stuff. And
Okay.
they basically, all those people basically don't have nothing to do with YouTube anymore. So
I'll be
I
back in a sec. I gotta go lean off the dock for a minute.
all right. Well, yeah. So I really appreciate each and every one of you that comes in every week and gives me the watch time and stuff like that. But it's it's getting tougher. I mean, our health hasn't been like it used to be, where we're sticking up videos all the time. So this is the only way we're getting any view time, and which is cut about almost cut in half now because of we were almost we actually was uh monetized at one time, and uh then it got down. Then they changed the rules and all on that stuff, and I just never have been able to get up to the 4,000 hour mark on since then. So, but like I said, I really appreciate it, and I try to give, uh, try to, you know, just appreciate everybody that sticks around. I know it may not be, it's not the best content in the world, but at least this way it shows who my friends are and all that stuff. So I mean, people that still sticks around and gives us opportunity on our little live stream. It ain't much, but
Oh, okay, I'm back.
yeah, that's
That felt good. My teeth were starting to float.
well, yeah.
Little bear
But
back.
I hate it when your eyeballs start turning yellow there, Cage. I
Right.
mean, that's kind of where I'm at too. But I was just trying to squeeze it out to get to 2 hours there and I appreciate everybody coming in. Y'all have a great weekend. I imagine Mark will be on tomorrow night, Twisted V Twin Garage, Cajun probably on Sunday afternoon. At what
Yeah,
time?
more than likely, I had a couple of emails already. What's cooking for Sunday? What's happening for Sunday? Don't know just yet. So, but I'll send the regular, links out.
And Polar Bear will be at 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 8 o'clock Monday for Mater. So y'all have a good one. And Cajun, take us out
Yeah,
of here.
8 your time, 7 Bayou time for
Yeah.
Mater. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, all right, Cajun, take us out of here.
All right, brother. Will do. Will do. All right, everybody. Y'all know the routine. It's good. It's great being north of the grass. Stay safe. Be safe. Stay that way. Vice versa. All right. And as always, love, peace, and crackling grease. Catch y'all later.
Good
Pluto.
night, everybody.